Hey gamers, it's G from The Corner, and welcome to the first Legacy review here on The Corner. These are going to be reviews where we take a look at games not currently in the public limelight. You know, games that came out anywhere from a few years ago to 20 years ago, in the case of today's game. Recently, I've been playing Bomberman 64 for the first time, and I kind of just want to, give my thoughts on it. Just, it's been a game I've been playing, why not do a video on it, I thought. But yeah, Bomberman 64, released on the N64, part of the Bomberman series. I don't know if you guys probably know it. Bomberman, he's the guy, he places bombs. There's like usually a battle mode. It's kind of got this like sort of grid-shaped design, the game, where you're kind of supposed to place bombs while also avoiding the explosions because of your own bombs. Well, that'll kill you. It's a bit of risk-reward sort of gameplay. But this was the big jump into 3D. At least the first big jump. They've kind of tried this multiple times with Bomberman, but this one's always been interesting, because see, here's the thing. I always grew up on Bomberman, but I wasn't like of the age to have grown up on any of the older games in the series. The first one I played on release was Super Bomberman R, but I had picked up, like a few older Bomberman games at like local game stores beforehand, and I'd heard of the series. In fact, I think going back about 10 years now, I would hear about Bomberman 64, like, talked about from some, like, small YouTubers back in the day. I hear them say, like, this is one of the classic Bomberman games. This is such a great Bomberman game. And, it kind of always stuck with me to where, when I finally started collecting N64 games, I found this one at a convention, and I was like, you know what? Hey, I should pick it up. I want to give it a shot. I've actually never played through it. I think I might have tried it on Wii U Virtual Console for like a little bit, but I never ended up beating it. So you know what? Why not? Let's play it on original hardware. Sure. So what did I think of it? Well, I have a number of thoughts on it. Okay, let's start with the gameplay. Now, I would kind of classify this game as sort of a puzzle platformer. Like some other ones, like Captain Toad on Wii U, you can't jump in the game. You can only walk around and place bombs. But instead of exploding in that cross-shaped pattern you're probably all familiar with, they explode in sort of a circle radius. It's 3D. Why not? It makes sense to not have them explode like that. It'd probably be a really big pain to kill enemies if they did explode like that. So it makes sense that they wouldn't. But yeah, no, it's honestly, I think it's a satisfying. Like when I look at that from a distance, I'm like, oh, a little Bomberman game where you're kind of running around these 3D dioramas and you're placing bombs. And, there's like some puzzles going on there, like, oh, blow up this thing to reveal this path, or oh, there's branching paths, figure out which one's the right one. Some of the levels are open-ended, some are linear, but they're kind of just like obstacle courses for you to walk through and place bombs. There will be a lot of segments where it's just, hey, here's like a bunch of things coming at you. Make sure you dodge them. Place some bombs to kill enemies. He still has the bomb kick and the bomb throw from other Bomberman games, except they're just like baked into his moveset. But there are still power-ups, actually. You can still increase the radius of your bombs and increase how many bombs. Because in Bomberman, like, you would find power-ups on the field, and that's still the case here, and they still do the same things they would do in the original Bomberman games, but just, they're being used in a single-player 3D platformer. Well, I call it a platformer. There really isn't much platforming, but, it works like that. And there's even some new moves they introduced, like you can bounce on bombs. So like maybe you'll place a bomb into like a chasm and you'll jump over it. You can like pump up bombs. So if you like hold down B and then press A, you'll immediately pick up a bomb, and then if you mash the A button, you'll pump it up, and then you can throw it and it'll have a bigger explosion, or you could, use it to cross a chasm that wouldn't be able to be crossed with just one bomb. There's like some collectibles in this game where I think they want you to place like stacks of bombs on top of each other to create kind of a bomb staircase, which is pretty cool. Honestly, the gameplay, like from a conceptual standpoint, is phenomenal. I think it's great. I would love to see it tried again. And that's not even getting into like the music and aesthetics. I think this is this is a great looking N64 game. Bomberman is kind of made of, he is a model. The spheres are models, but like he's also made of a few sprites, so it's kind of that like whole, he can't be a true, like his face is like just a texture, not even a texture, it's just a freaking 2D PNG plastered like kind of on top of his face. It's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty good. I like it. I like how it looks. The music is phenomenal. I really like the music. There's not that much of it, but honestly, it's all super memorable. It's all stuck in my head. I'm just like humming into my mind right now to try and think of the game, and honestly, it's all super great. But yeah, that makes it seem like, okay, wow, Bomberman 64 sounds like a phenomenal game. Wow, I should go play it yesterday. Here's the thing, it's time for the caveats, the big caveats. This game is very frustrating. I mentioned collectibles earlier, and there are like 5 of these golden cards in every single level, and they are so stupidly hidden. Some of them are just like, hey, blow up a weird thing in a weird way. Some of them are beat the level in a certain time limit. Some of them are beat the level without dying, or I think that was 1 or 2 of them. And then like even the boss fights have them, where it's like there's certain weak spots, and you have to hit them from those weak spots. And oh my god, some of the bosses in this game are, because there's boss fights, right? And, they're cool, but they're really frustrating. It feels like every time I fight one of them, I'm like, this isn't the right way you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to beat this boss by chucking a bomb in it and having it explode midair because they give you the remote bombs early. It seems kind of cool. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not something I would expect them to require of the player to have to, like, do for the game. And some of these bosses are genuinely so friggin' frustrating. The second boss, in particular, gave me a lot of trouble. Stupid fish guy. He keeps slamming his goddamn thing on. And here's the thing. The reason these bosses, like, really, are a pain is because you can only take 1 hit in the game, When you take a hit, you die. That's it. There's, like, there's very rarely these heart collectibles which act as a second hit, and you can keep picking them up. Like, you'll get hit, and you'll drop the heart, and if you pick it up, you still have the heart. But they are very rare. It honestly is such a non-factor when I'm playing the game, because it's either you can take infinite hits or you can take 1 hit. And usually you're only going to be able to take 1 hit. There were some levels, I'm going to be honest guys, the game was so frustrating I had to just stop like literally right at the end. Right at the end. The last full level of the game, I was like, no, this is bull. What do I do here? There was like branching paths and a bunch of, and like it looked like there was this sort of puzzle where you had to kind of walk slowly with these flashing tiles, but it still didn't work. It wasn't, I still died no matter what. I really didn't like how this game kind of wrapped up. It feels very frustrating because the format, like the original, the pitch, everything here, it sounds amazing in concept, but in execution, it just kind of flounders a little bit. It turns into a bit of a frustrating mess where you're never going, and apparently the collectibles are worth a damn because you get stuff for the battle mode, which I'll get into in a little bit, but also there's like an entire final world I can't even access apparently because I don't have all of the collectibles, including a secret final boss. Like, what? What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. I hate that shit. I mean, that's the classic 90s trope thing. I'm a Kirby fan. I should be used to it. There were like 5 games where they did that, tried to pull that crap. But like, still, what the heck? And the multiplayer. I guess I should probably touch on this real quick. The multiplayer is nothing special. Bomberman multiplayer is usually like really fun. This one's kind of simple. There's only like 4 stages, and because of the mechanics, they don't really like work super well for multiplayer because like you're just kind of in these open spaces and you can always walk away from the bombs. If somebody kicks a bomb into you, you'll die, right? Or well, you'll get stunned for a second and then you'll explode. But that's kind of the whole game. Like, that's all it is. And it's not really as fun as some of the other Bomberman battle modes. I wouldn't recommend this game for that either. It's kind of funny because they try and put the battle mode sort of into the story mode with these Bomberman duels you'll have. Like, every second level of a world is a duel against one of these villains. And you know what? They're pretty fun, honestly. Well, okay, some of them are fun. Some of them are kind of like, oh yeah, let me try and figure out a way to stun this guy and like cheese the crap out of the fight. But like, some of them are like, bro, what the fuck? Like, one of the guys, literally, you're stunned, you're done. That's it, you're dead. Because he walks up to you, he picks you up, and he chucks you off the stage. It's so dumb and cheesy. But yeah, overall, Bomberman 64, I think, you know what, I think it might be a bit overrated, or at least it was, like 10 years ago. I never hear anybody talk about this game anymore. But, back when I would watch CJS001 review the game in like 2013, I would be like, damn, this game sounds really cool. It's a bit overrated. It's kind of all right. I love the concepts. I love the aesthetics and music. I think it's great. It really, when I think Bomberman, this is the kind of vibe I want. But in execution, really could have been better. I really wish it turned out better in the end. But yeah, that's all for today's review. Hope you enjoyed. Keep it locked right here to the corner for some more content and gaming coverage very soon.